What's up, everybody? It's Miles Turner, the Indiana Pacers. You're listening to the Paceroos Podcast. Be sure to follow @Paceroos on Twitter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Paceroos Podcast, the only Australian NBA podcast with a bias towards the Indiana Pacers, coming to you from a massive week in the history of our podcast, which we'll get to in a moment. But, guys, I want to kick it off by saying we should have never traded him away. You know, hit shots today, rebounds, assists, filled the stat sheet. Cash considerations was on fire for the Phoenix Suns today, guys.
Oh,
unbelievable. Alex,
how good was that tweet?
Is there a prouder moment in your season
than seeing cash considerations ball out, or?
Yeah. I know you're a big fan of cash considerations. You bought the jersey, the purple Phoenix Suns cash considerations jersey. But is there a prouder moment of your season than seeing TJ Warren tear it up against his former team and all of us kind of laugh?
Yeah, I mean, it was an absolute joy to watch, wasn't it? And Phoenix Suns Twitter, they were not happy about it. I can tell you that much. They all thought they were fine without him, but our boy TJ Warren absolutely tore it up. 25, three rebounds, 3 blocks as well. And my man Ricky Rubio, he got absolutely clamped up by the White Iverson. That might be my moment of the year so far.
Yeah, you speak about TJ Warren and TJ McConnell. I could not be more impressed with TJ McConnell. Going to toot my own horn. I called it was a very underrated signing when we got him from Philadelphia. Another double for him off the bench. I know he did get extended minutes with the Malcolm Brogdon eye injury, but 10 points, 11 assists. Like you said, he clamped down Ricky Rubio, and he's just so efficient. He's the best passer on the team, I personally think, and he runs the offense so well. I can see why Nate McMillan's put him ahead of Aaron Holiday in the depth chart. White Iverson, he's balling. We're getting it trending. He's again doing behind the back moves, through the leg dribbles. He is so good to watch.
Yeah, it was. We were in control the entire game today. I could forgive you for switching off halfway through to watch Zion in that fourth quarter, although I don't think the two events crossed over. It was pretty incredible to see Zion in action on a side note. But, yeah, in control of the whole game today. Phoenix had a couple of contributors that scored above 15 points, Devin Booker and Kelly Oubre. But apart from that, they barely fired a shot. Didn't really have much to be able to counter Domas Sabonis and TJ Warren. It was a bit of a revenge game for TJ Warren. And the Pacers Twitter account, we saw that they put up the TJ Warren versus cash considerations graphic. We all thought it was probably the tweet of the year in a social 100%. Media sense. I said we should just shut Twitter from then. It's not getting better than that. But then the Pacers, we know they don't like to cause too much of a ruckus, so they did take it down. Understand why they took it down, but it was hilarious while it lasted. Justin, you were pretty impressed.
Well, yeah, it got taken down, but the screenshots will live forever. So we've all seen it. We all loved it. I do understand, like you said, Adam, maybe it was a bit... a bit too much banter. We don't want to be seeing, like, even if you fleece teams like we did with the Paul George trade, you don't want to be sticking it in Oklahoma City Thunder's account nonstop. But it was a great game. And look, this road trip's gone exactly the way I thought it would be. We're 2-1 currently. I picked the Utah loss, the Denver win, and the Phoenix win. So let's hope we can finish this off with hopefully a 4-1 road trip.
Alex, do you see us winning the last 2 games of the road trip? I believe it's the Golden State Warriors in Portland.
Yeah, I think the Golden State one in. I've already penciled that one in as a W, but I don't know. Portland, man. I know they've been struggling this year, but again, same with Denver. That's a team we haven't beaten at their home since 2007. So 13 years is a long time. Hopefully we can
bring in that streak. Stats today. I love it.
Yeah, well, I've had that one in the bank for about a week, but I think Portland, the biggest key is obviously stopping Dame Dollar, isn't it? He's just an absolute freak of nature. I'm not sure if McCollum will be there, but Anthony, he's gonna be a problem as well. Hopefully Warren can do his best on him. So yeah, if Brogdon's healthy, hopefully he can slow down Dame Dollar and we can win that battle for the first time in 13 years.
Yeah, the Utah loss was one that we sort of predicted on the last show. It was a lethargic team, and it was a game that we don't really need to go into great depth about. It was a 30-point loss, so we unfortunately fell behind pretty significantly and just didn't make our way back. But The Denver win was fantastic, and today's Phoenix win was sort of made up for that Utah victory and shows that we really wanted to get one back. And defense was brilliant as always, and led admirably by Domas and TJ Warren. One sour note, obviously, Malcolm Brogdon only played 16 minutes today, and once again suffered, I would say, a bit of a freak injury. You heard a bit of a narrative about Malcolm Brogdon being often injured, but Justin, these have all been sort of unrelated and random injuries, and you can't really, in my view, take a lot from that other than he's just been a bit unlucky.
Yeah, you're completely all right. It's probably good they're not all, tied down to, say, just an ankle or a knee injury, and it just keep bothering him, like you said, if he got poked in the eye or, he's got eye issues, that could happen to any player. He's just been so unlucky. I think the main thing Pacers are probably looking at is just to get Brogdon and Oladipo healthy and build some chemistry before the playoffs. So these games, look, we've got White Iverson out there balling out, so it's not the biggest worry in the world.
Got to correct you there because we haven't got White Iverson. We do have the next Steve Nash.
Steve Nash,
as our backup point guard. Probably arguably the biggest week, or definitely the biggest week in the podcast history. If you didn't hear a massive shout out by our friend of the podcast, Jeremiah Johnson, on the Fox Sports Indiana pregame show earlier before the Phoenix Suns game. Interviewing TJ McConnell, and referenced our last episode where Justin compared TJ McConnell's dribbling style and ball handling style to Steve Nash. It caught us by surprise. We were pretty impressed though, and Justin, it's pretty crazy to hear that audio, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a surreal moment. Like, obviously, three guys from Melbourne, Australia, just talking about, the basketball club they love. And, so that actually to get mentioned to a player pre-game is fantastic, and definitely a surreal moment for the three of us. And, having JJ listen to the podcast is a huge, thrill. And, it's definitely humbling that someone in his position actually listens to fans in Australia and listens to our opinions. And, I can't thank JJ enough. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, seconded. Alex, I'll get your thoughts in a moment, but first we'll play the grab from today's Fox Sports Indiana pregame show. So for your listening pleasure, here's JJ's reference to the Paceroos.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the open man. If I come off the screen and I immediately see Domas, I know he'll make the right play, whether that's going to attack the rim or he usually has a guy over helping. That's when he makes the extra pass, and he's really good at that.
I have to give credit where credit's due. I was listening to an Australian Pacers podcast, Paceroos, and they were comparing you to Steve Nash. Any parts of your game modeled after him?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I grew up watching him. I've worked out with him over the last couple of years in LA, and he's taught me a few things, and obviously a great role model.
Crazy. Alex, what did you think when you saw the JJ tweet that sort of previewed the fact that he was going to mention us on the show?
Yeah. Well, I actually, first of all, I just couldn't believe it. Secondly, when I saw that it was TJ McConnell, you already know the first thing that popped into my mind. I was like, no, he's not going to call him White Iverson on Fox Sports Indiana, is he? I was absolutely about to get lit. but he compared him to Steve Nash, which is still surreal. But yeah, JJ, if you're listening to this, maybe slip in the White Iverson reference in the future. But we appreciate you shouting out the podcast nonetheless. It really does. In all seriousness, it does mean a lot. So we appreciate it.
If the words White Iverson made it onto an Indiana Pacers broadcast, would that be the greatest day of your life, Alex? No lie.
It would actually be, yes. And that would have to be the same for you, Justin, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. You guys know I'm TJ McConnell's biggest fan since day one. I think it was a great pickup, and we started trending the White Iverson with the Post Malone music and the mixes you made, Alex. And, I think TJ McConnell's brother's got some traction there. He likes it too. So there's a bit of a Twitter following behind the White Iverson hashtag.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like it, except for me? I refuse to say it. I tell you what though, if it's ever uttered on a Fox Sports Indiana broadcast, then I'll happily say it for the rest of my podcasting life. I'll concede at that point in time. For now, you won't let me say it. You won't get me say it at all. But yeah, just to echo the other guys' sentiments, fantastic to see the support we've been able to get from the Pacers organization and the friends of the podcast that have been able to come on, and it was a real surreal moment to hear us mention on the pregame show. And on to bigger and better things, onward and upward from here as well in 2020. Now, on to the main topic of today's show. Alex and Justin, you don't work 9 to 5, so you had the opportunity to sit down with the enigmatic commentator of the National Basketball League, the Australian Basketball League here, Corey Homicide Williams, former New York streetballing legend, Pacers Summer League player, friend of Lance Stephenson, friend of Chris Copeland. He's just a fascinating life that he's led, and really just brilliant to get him on the podcast, Justin.
Yeah, definitely. It was the best interview I've ever done. Just speaking with someone, me and Alex met up with him and had breakfast with him, and then spent a lot of time with him talking before we actually recorded. So it was great just talking basketball with him. But the thing with Homicide is, right, he speaks from the heart. I think sometimes, like, you know, once you get into a media position, people just maybe say ridiculous takes to get hits on Twitter and, you know, get their profile up. Homicide, you know, he might have takes, but he believes in him. He only says what he believes in, and I really respect that about him. Like, he'll say what he believes, and you know, he said some very interesting things. Obviously, he was on the Pacers Summer League team, so he mentions you know, Danny Granger, how it was playing with him, and, you know, the battles he had with Lance Stephenson on the street yard, and it was a fantastic interview, and I got a lot out from it, and I know our fans will love listening to it.
Yeah, I obviously not being there, I had the opportunity to listen to it, and it struck me the sense of family and camaraderie with you know, his fellow players, with Copeland, with Lance. You know, the fact that he dropped everything to help Chris Copeland get with his tryout with the New York Knicks and have that go as well as it possibly could. I mean, just speaks to the character of the guy and the you know, network that exists and existed at that point in New York basketball. I mean, it's clear that it was a family more than anything else, and he expresses that in a really beautiful way. And it's it was really cool to hear a lot of stories. We hope to hear a lot more in the future. Alex, what did you take from the interview with Corey Homicide Williams?
Yeah, I think similar to what Justin was saying, just how honest he is. You know, he is just 100% all the time. He doesn't fake anything, doesn't try to be anything that he's not. So obviously we really respect him for that. I think you're going to want to hear his comments about Lance. So I think that's the best part of the episode. Justin got the question in there, and he absolutely loves Lance. Like you said, he loves those New York guys. And I thought it was pretty interesting how he talked about the evolution of basketball and how that New York almost playground style has evolutionized the NBA today. Guys like Kyrie Irving, Jamal Crawford, you know, how it's actually translated to the national game. So yeah, definitely a great interview. We appreciate Homicide for coming on.
And
just to tease,
quickly, just quickly, Alex, I know you're in the process of making a mixtape of his playing career. People forget he was a stone cold killer.
100%.
He was a player. You're probably going through it now, Alex, and he gets the hoop on anyone. That 2010 season he had with the Townsville Crocs, he was unstoppable.
He was cooking everyone, man, just leaving him dry, just crossing him up and getting to the hoop every possession.
He was a real revelation, and that's, you know, allowed him to become the premier commentator in Australian basketball. I mean, he's the personality that you would associate with the NBL now, other than the you know, legendary Australian players that commentate like Andrew Gaze and Shane Heal. Corey Homicide Williams is right up there with two legends of Australian basketball in his ability to be able to, you know, be known as a key guy in the NBL now and moving forward. I mean, I can see him doing this for the next 20, 30 years and becoming a bit of a doyen in basketball commentary in Australia.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And we did chat with him off the record about where he wants to go, if he's planning to move back to America or stay in Australia. And he said he loves Australia. He considers it his home now, and yeah, he loves doing the NBL and everything like that. And yeah, the NBL is only going to get bigger and bigger. We've seen LaMelo Ball come, who he mentions in the interview he thinks he should be number one in the draft. So yeah, very exciting times for Australian basketball.
Yeah, brilliant. Look, we'll leave it there. We'll get to the interview because it's one that you're not going to want to skip past. Some really interesting answers by Corey Homicide Williams on the Paceroos podcast. Thanks for listening to us this week, and we'll speak to you again after the road trip. And Victor's coming back.
All right, welcome back to the Paceroos Podcast. Here we have a very special guest today, the one and only Corey Homicide Williams, 2010 MVP of the NBL, who has had stints in America playing in the NBA. Corey, welcome to the show.
What's going on, fellas?
Not much. Thanks for having us, man. You're a big phenomenon here in Australia. A lot of Americans bring you up when they mention Australia.
Man, it's nothing but love. You know, a lot of guys, you know, I've either hung out with, played against, played with in playground basketball in New York and on my journeys in the world, or some of their friends. So it's all love, man. It's just all going back to the relationship that's been built with them and the bridge that's getting closer and bigger with the NBL and the NBA.
For sure. And you mentioned the playground basketball in New York. You seem to be a bit of a street legend. We had Chris Copeland on the show last week, and he mentioned how much of a New York baller you're known to be. Just talk about that and what kind of reputation you had in the city.
Well, first of all, shout out to my brother, Chris Copeland. That's family. We go way back, like when he was a freshman in college. You know, I had moved from New York and moved to Denver. He went to the University of Colorado. And that's when we met in the summertime, playing in the off season. I was home from overseas, and you know, obviously he's at the University of Colorado, but it's summer school. So in his off season, they're still in the city. So he'd come down to the gym and, you know, train with us and play ball with us. So our relationship stems back, like, we're talking 2000, 2002.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for an extreme long time, and our relationship is built with, you know, our bond is bigger than just friends. You know, that's my brother. We're brothers. So I remember when he got his first opportunity with the Knicks.
Yeah.
He was playing overseas. He was in Belgium at the time, and he came home. I was waiting to go play somewhere. I was in New York. He hit me up. He was like, "Yo, you home?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm coming in. Don't tell anybody. I'm coming in for a workout with the Knicks." I said, "Look, here's what we're going to do." Because, you know, in Europe, teams get the Christmas break. So you can get an opportunity to go home, see your family a little bit, and come back. He used his break to come up to New York. I was in the gym working out. I had a guy rebounding for me. I stopped the workout, and the guy that I had rebounding for me and myself, we started working out Copeland and rebounding for him to get the shots up prior to him going to camp with the Knicks, the workout with the Knicks. And that was the successful shooting workout that helped get him the opportunity to go to summer league and training camp with the Knicks. And then, you know, the history, everything, you know, is history from there. But that's what I'm about. You know, if I can do whatever I can do, no matter how big or small it is, whether it's advice, words of wisdom, or, you know, taking to action and stopping the workout and giving you the workout, and it's solely on you, because, you know, we want to, as a friend and as a brother, we want to help each other to put each other in the best position to win.
Do you think, having that New York mentality, did you have a lot of guys from New York ask for your advice?
Yeah, you know, especially with the route that I went to college. I have 2 college degrees, but I wasn't a big star or big name in college. So for that, we have what we covet in New York, playground basketball.
Yeah.
So we all grew up playing playground basketball. So here's the thing. Streetball is dope. It's cool as hell. It's like the summertime NBA, but it's not the NBA.
Yeah.
So you get rappers, models, actors, actresses. You get all walks of life come into a playground to watch playground basketball. So you get guys in the NBA that want street credibility. They come to the playground. You got playground guys that want to get an opportunity to go play pro. You do it in the playground because you have your best chance to play against NBA guys or guys playing professionally abroad, right? Then you got just guys that are just good enough in the playground but have never play anywhere else professionally. So there's a nice mixture. Then you got college All-Americans. You got high school All-Americans, if they're good enough, that can play in the park. So you get all of that talent in the park. It's magic on any given night. You know, so for me, I knew going back home, we had that. That was my best chance and opportunity to play against top-tier talent in the playground. And that's how I got that nickname Homicide. That's how I got the opportunity to the Toronto Raptors and going to the D-League, winning the championship as a starting point guard in the D-League, Summer League, and all of this. So the way I went about getting my opportunity is an unconventional route.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, guys give, you know, the love and the admiration and the respect. And for me to then go to a professional league, 14 years playing pro, but to go to a country and do well in that country and manage to get MVP of the league, and now I've transitioned out of the game into what I'm doing, people, the love and admiration for somebody that started their opportunity from playground basketball to where I'm at right now, that's a hell of an accomplishment and journey. So that's why the love is, you know, comes in heavy from these guys.
And do you think that New York style or playground style, like you mentioned, do you think that carries into the NBA? Do you think, you know, guys like Jamal Crawford, Lance Stephenson, obviously we love him here on the show and all Pacers fans do, but do you think you can see it translating into the NBA, and how do you think it impacts their game style?
You know who the best street ball player in the world is?
Who's that?
James Harden! Are you kidding me?
You love James Harden.
I love him because, let me tell you, when I was trying, I graduated college, I'm 42 years old. I graduated college in 2000.
Yeah.
So that was the height of street basketball.
Jason Williams even.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so professional basketball thought street basketball was and one.
Yeah.
I don't play N1 basketball. The way I played in the NBL when you saw me, that's how I played in the playground. It's just outdoor basketball. That's what we do in New York. N1 did an incredible job of marketing themselves as the best street ball players in the world.
Yeah.
All those guys are, and I know them, a lot of them are my friends and my family. They are the new school Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
You can't dribble your whole body through somebody's legs in a game. You know what I'm saying? It's entertaining to watch if that's the type of basketball you like to watch. It's like WWE and real wrestling.
Yeah.
Two different things. You know, so I had a stigma that I had to shake because people knew about me from street ball. So automatically professional teams and leagues was like, he's an N1 player, we don't want that. Yeah. So it's definitely something that was very difficult to separate.
Yeah.
But now, fast forward, you look at the Westbrooks, you look at James Harden, you know what I mean? Like you say, Jamal Crawford, Lou Will, these guys, Ginobili.
Yeah.
He was a street ball player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I love them for that reason.
Yeah.
They're in the NBA as superstars playing street ball.
Yeah.
So that's why I really love them.
Yeah, and we had a quick chat before the show about, like Alex mentioned, a big fan favourite. It would probably always be a pace of life, Lance Stephenson.
No doubt.
You had a bit of connection with him. Just speak to the fans of the show about Lance Stephenson and what kind of impresses you about him as a player.
I'm going to tell you. Shout out to Lance, a.k.a. Born Ready.
Yes, sir.
New York City, Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, the street basketball, street ball is huge. This is what we breathe. That's what we do as New Yorkers. I played against Lance. Lance was in the 8th grade.
Was there a bit of fight there?
Lance was like trying to go at me in the 8th grade. I'm like, who is this kid? They're like, yo, like he's in the 8th grade. I'm like, yo, young fella's good. You know what I mean? He could hoop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, just to watch Lance blossom into the great young man that he is, he's a great person.
Yeah.
And, you know, the great defender and player that he turned out to be is just a beautiful thing. You know, he embodies New York City all the way. He's going to play hard on defense. He's going to bring it to you. You know, he got a little showtime in his game, well, a lot of showtime in his game. And he ain't no punk.
Yeah.
So, you know, what I believe put him to the next level was when he would guard LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, and whenever you have the heart to even attempt, to guard one of the greatest players ever and give him problems, that separates you as a defender. You know, the next person I could think of like that is Ron Artest.
It's another Pacers.
You know what I'm saying? Another
Pacer.
defensive player of the year he got with the Pacers.
Yeah.
So, you know, these guys have heart. And like, we don't care who you are. We don't give a fuck about who you are, what your rep is. Bring it here against me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what he embodies. And, you know, I know he's overseas right now in Asia doing this thing, but
do you think he deserves an NBA spot?
Yeah, of course, he can still play. He's young enough.
Yeah.
You know, he's an asset to a bunch of teams with what he does and what he brings. So, you know, hopefully he gets that opportunity to come back stateside and you know, put in more work in the league.
Yeah, I know we would absolutely love to have him on the Pacers, but I want to take you back to the year you were on the Summer League team with Indiana. You played with undoubtedly one of the greatest Pacers of all time, Danny Granger. What was it like playing with him, first of all, and then getting that opportunity to play in the Summer League?
Yeah, Danny Granger was cool as hell. Had some serious game. There wasn't really nothing that he could not do on the court. Really humble guy, worked extremely hard, was real supportive of all of us that was you know, there for the Summer League experience. And yeah, he was cool. You know, Larry Bird, to hang out and talk with him. Larry Love is what I call him. You know, he's a legend in itself. So that experience and that opportunity was a great one for me. I wish I would have got more playing time, but when you go to Summer League, you know, how it works is, at the time I was told one thing, and then when you get there, it's another thing.
Yeah.
You know, but what you got to do is remain professional. When you get an opportunity to play, you go out, you do what you can. You know, everybody's out there trying to do the same thing, which is get a job and show their best foot, put their best foot forward. So we didn't do really well, but I didn't get a lot of minutes for Summer League. There were so many guards. It's like you might play today, I won't play today.
Yeah.
We'll split time tomorrow, you won't play today.
Yeah.
We'll split time the next day, you won't play today. So it's really hard if you're not already on their NBA regular season roster to get a lot of minutes. So lucky for me, after that, George Karl, because I was living in Denver, so I used to work out with the Nuggets all the time, who invited me to Summer League as well. And I didn't go to NBA Summer League with Denver. I ended up going with Indiana because they offered me first the opportunity. And George Karl was like, good for your ass. You ain't getting no playing time. You should have came with us. But we're going to bring you to training camp anyway. So I ended up going to training camp with the Denver Nuggets that following season.
Yeah.
And that's the year they had the crew. They lost to LA to go to the Western Conference Finals. Melo, JR, Camby, Defensive Player of the Year. Kenyon Martin, Nene, Andre Miller, Earl Boykins. They had DeMar Johnson. I think Rodney White was there. Like, they had a crew.
Yeah.
But they ended up. I got cut. They ended up signing a veteran point guard, Anthony Carter. He used to play with Miami Heat. He used to play with the Spurs and won the championship with the Spurs. But he was a legit backup, so I wasn't mad that I got waived for him. He was there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was legit. So then I went to the minor league, won a championship with the Dakota Wizards. I went to the D League, which is now the G League.
Yeah.
So I was a starting point guard there. Then after that, I went to Summer League with Golden State Warriors. And then I got an opportunity to get an offer to go to Australia.
So when you came to Australia, obviously we know you won MVP for the Townsville Crocs in 2010. Did you have the mentality that year that you were the best player on the court every time you stepped on the court?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was a 3-way tie for second place. We finished. So my first year, I came in a little late. Roselle Ellis tore his pec muscle, and Townsville wanted a point guard immediately. Funny enough, the day before, I verbally agreed with Perth Wildcats.
Yeah, wow.
And Scott Fisher was
nemesis,
the coach. Yeah, funny, right? And the following day, Trevor Gleason called my agent, like, yo, we want him now. So I was like, it's the same amount of money. Why would I wait? Because they had a point guard in Perth at the time who I rated was a tough point guard. His name was Rashard Phillips.
Yeah.
So they were going to waive Rashard Phillips and bring me in. But, I spoke to the coach at first, and they wanted to talk to the board. Perth Wildcats do things differently.
Yeah.
They got to talk to the board about this player and So I'm like, first of all, I know the guy. Well, I rate the guy. I didn't know him at the time, Rashard Phillips. But I'm like, I rate this guy. This guy was like the next Allen Iverson. They rated him at the University of Detroit. So I'm like, we got kind of like the same style of play. If he's not working out in Perth, how would I?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And the following day, the Townsville called my agent, and I'm like, well, it's the same amount of money. I really don't want to get a guy cut and take the job.
Yeah.
When I could jump into a job right here, it's wide open.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just go to Townsville.
Yeah.
That's how I went to Townsville.
Yeah.
See how funny how life works.
Yeah.
Because we all know I'm not the prototypical. I'm the complete opposite of a Perth Wildcat.
Yeah.
After that one season, I wouldn't have been back. So funny enough how I went to Townsville, after 5 games, they offered me a 2-year extension.
Yeah.
So at the end of the season, I went to Europe. I played with a EuroLeague team, and I signed the 2-year extension while I was in Europe to come back to Australia.
Yeah.
So year 2, I was like, we about to kill this league. I'm about to kill it. We lost to the Dragons to go to the championship. Because we upset Perth. That's when I took off my jersey.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then we went to the semifinals. We lost game 1 to the Dragons in Melbourne. Then game 2 we won in Townsville. And game 3 we lost to go to the grand final. We lost in the last 4 minutes of that game.
It still hurt?
Well, I won't say it hurts.
Yeah.
It was just it was Mark Worthington. He killed us, man. You know, and at the end of the day, that's not a position that I covered. It wasn't like it would hurt if it was a guard
that killed
because that had everything to do with me.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do anything with him inside. And the last we had him, he was having a shit series too.
Yeah.
And in that last 4 or 5 minutes, he just woke up, and that was that.
Yeah.
Anyway, and they ended up winning the championship in year 3 with Townsville. We ended up it was a 3-way tie for second place, and we ended up because of head-to-head.
Yeah.
We dropped to 3rd. So we played a second place team and Illawarra, Wollongong at the time. And home court advantage, man. I lost game 3 to go to the championship.
Yeah.
That's the difference, man.
Yeah.
So the last 2 years in Townsville, we lost to go to the championship. So that was overachieving with a Townsville team. You know, so that's the year I got MVP of the league. Then I left, I went to Greece, didn't get paid, came back and joined the Melbourne Tigers for 1 season.
Yeah.
Then I left and went to the Middle East.
Yeah.
And can you talk us through the transition from player to commentator? We've seen it a little bit with Paul Pierce, who has some interesting takes. But we're seeing it even now with Vince Carter. Guys more so. Dwayne Wade even got signed, I believe, by ESPN TNT. Recently. So TNT, yeah. So now we're seeing more players retiring and going straight into commentary. Was that something that you always wanted to do, or was that just something towards the end of the career that they offered you and you thought you'd be good at that? Exactly,
the latter. Something towards my end of my career, and they offered it, and I thought that, well, I talk a lot. You want to pay me to talk about a game that I adore and I've been doing my whole life. That's not work to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're sitting down before we started recording, we just talking about basketball, and you know, I do this in my sleep.
Yeah.
This is what I do, even if I wasn't being paid or in this country doing this for work. You know, and I figured it can work. I mean, I'm comfortable in front of a camera. I've always been. I can articulate myself enough to get my point across, and you know, the viewers can understand exactly what I'm saying, whether it's socially or it's professionally.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. You have to connect with, you know, the people and have them understand. So I thought that if I gave it my best opportunity to do it, that I could do this.
Yeah,
you know, and in street ball, it helped me. Things prepped me in playground basketball for the role that I have now. For example, I was touted as one of the greatest street ball players of all time, right? Yeah. One of the kings of New York City. I got sneaker endorsement contracts from sneakers, from companies. K1X is a German-based company. They gave me my own sneaker, the 187s, aka that's the police code for Homicide. That was sold in Foot Locker Global. I was wearing the K1X, my own shoe. I was balling in my own shoe in the NBL.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Then walking by Foot Locker in Melbourne and New Zealand, you seen a poster with me in it.
Yeah.
What player has done that in NBL?
Exactly.
Andrew Gaze, I think.
Yeah.
That was the last player. Like, I'm out here balling in my own shoe. I was Westbrooking it here before Westbrook.
Yeah.
Loud, mohawk, gear, shit talking, balling, attitude, talking to the media. Like, you know, I played a part in the basketball culture here. So with the fan base, whether you love me or hate me, agree or not, whatever, there was still a fan base to start off and work with when I started commentating.
Yeah.
Think about it. What are guys doing in the NBA when they done? You just said it. They want to get on air.
Yeah.
What was the last import player that came back to Australia and got on air to commentate?
No, just you.
Yeah.
Now, no, the OG did it first, which is Carfino.
Yeah.
Right? But as far as my generation, nobody.
Yeah.
So this is a lane where you're trailblazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I got a lot of respect for Steve Carfino, because that's my OG. A lot of times I would call him and holler at him, and we talk about certain things. You know what I mean? So, you know, just grateful for the opportunity, and I'm having a whole lot of fun with it.
Yeah, that's it. And you mentioned, obviously, your transition to commentary. How important is it for you to speak your mind? You always speak your mind and feel you always say what, you know, in your heart of hearts, whereas some other commentators might not. How important is that to you?
I think that's the true essence of who I am. Me being real. That's the New Yorker in me. I've always been like that. I've never been a yes man. I don't even know how to even do that role.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be true to myself, and I think that's just a part of my DNA and who I am. That's where I add to the culture and to our panel of commentators. You know, I come from New York. This is American culture, how we speak our opinion and we say what we feel regarding the subject matter at hand. In Australian culture, that's not how it's done.
Yeah.
You know, broadcasters and commentators are, you know, for the sake of wanting a relationship or for the sake of what others may think or what others may say, I better not say this.
Yeah.
So they're always on the fence.
Yeah.
They're always not being real with what they say. So I think that that's their approach. You know, that's just what it is. And, you know, you get the loudmouth from New York that's opinionated. It's like Simon from American Idol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look at it like that. Everybody hates Simon. Simon don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simon don't even know the people that hate him. So why would it matter that somebody does not like you who you don't know?
Yeah.
How can I take it personal when you don't know me personally?
Yeah.
No. So, you know, my job is easy, to be honest.
You mentioned being quite loud and speaking your opinion. You've been very vocal and saying LaMelo Ball should be the number one pick in the NBA draft. Just speak on that and how you think this 18, 19-year-old should be number one taken in June.
Well, for me, I was the biggest non-believer.
LaMelo.
And I believe if I'm a big non-believer of you and you prove me wrong, I should be the biggest advocate.
Yeah.
I shouldn't quietly be an advocate. Oh, guess what? He did prove me wrong when I was like, there's no way he's going to do this.
Yeah.
I thought the circus was coming to town. I thought LeVar was coming to town. I rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
In Australian basketball culture. I am
you're an angel.
Choir boy compared to LeVar.
Yeah.
So I didn't see there was no way in hell that would have worked.
Yeah.
Enter Jermaine Jackson, a man who mentors and manages LaMelo.
Yeah.
So you have a guy that's played 16 years pro, mentored under Larry Brown, Vince Carter, Anthony Davis, AI. He mentored KD when he was with Seattle. And he's been in and out the league and played 16 years abroad. He knows and understands the language, the DNA, and how things work abroad. He has Melo's best interest at hand. The dad knows that. So the dad fell completely back. This is a control freak. How can he fall completely back?
Yeah.
We never thought we'd see that. So now you got a guy who he trusts and believes has his son's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Pops, sit back. I got this.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did. LaMelo came into this league 46 on the mock draft.
Wow. Yeah.
I drilled him and RJ both on overtime the first time they sat down.
Yeah.
I said, let's wait to Tasmania, because for me the barometer will and always be, whether he's hurt or not, Damian Martin and the Perth Wildcats. I want to see if you could withstand that pressure.
Yeah.
On ball, full court for a whole game. Yeah. I guarantee you ain't seen no pressure like that, young fella. And you're not gonna beat him.
Yeah.
What happens in Tasmania? LaMelo Ball, 18 points, 12 rebounds, 4 steals, 8 assists.
Yeah.
And the win in overtime. 4 threes hit. I said, that's the number 1 pick. That's all I needed to see.
Yeah.
Do it against the defending champs and the 6th time, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6-time defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see that.
You're not going to see that.
NCAA,
You're not seeing
college.
that. No. This is against grown men in one of the hottest leagues in the world, in one of the best leagues in the world, outside the NBA. 17, 7, and 7. Back-to-back triple doubles. And what pro player done that before? Nobody. Not in a 40-minute game. Not in this league.
Yeah.
What 18-year-old done that before? Nobody. Come on, man. And he jumped to number 1. All right, now this is why I say he's the number 1 pick. Because of those reasons, but now, who's the other potential number 1 picks? This is how you break down the process of elimination.
It's not a great draft.
Look, that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
The draft is what it is. You got who? Kid from North Carolina, Cole Anthony, injured. Wiseman never played. He played 1 game. We don't know if he's ready. He needed to play this season to show everybody, right? Anthony Edwards is a stud, right?
He's good.
I don't believe he's a number 1 pick.
No.
Right? Because a number 1 pick, to bring all that star power and all that shit Melo bringing, and he's doing it against men, it's a hard pass to not take him at number 1. And his numbers is against men. So what, he can't shoot so well? You don't think he's going to get better shooting? That's about putting in work in.
Ben Simmons can't shoot.
This is what I'm saying. Like, look, LeBron came into the NBA shooting. Zion shoot. You know what I mean? They don't stop. You know, then on top of it, he got to offer $100 million in a jet. You kidding me? And that's real. That ain't hype. I was the one that dropped that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't hype. That's for real. I won't name the company, but come on, man. That's number 1 pick written all over him. I hope he go to New York. Really, truly. He's built for that city.
He is.
Everything that come with it. The kid is literally, he's special. He's like a Penny Hardaway to me, right? He's like a Kardashian, but with real talent. I mean, it's just a serious wave around this kid. They already rich, so you don't have to worry about this kid. Money, he's gonna lose his mind. He's been born into that. His brother's in the NBA already. You know what I mean? You saw the house that they got, the big baller. You saw the house?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, big baller.
So, you know what I mean? They Lambos, Rolls Royce, they good. They rich kids, they hoop. You know, so none of that is gonna shake him. So that lifestyle and all of that, that's every day for him. Cameras in his face, that's nothing new to him. He's built for this. His last name is Ball. You know, so I just think like all of these things, there's no way he doesn't go number 1. It just all depends on what team, obviously. Exactly. But okay, he goes number 2, no problem. The kid started from 46. We cannot ignore the facts. He started from 46, man. That's some serious work he put in those 2 a.m. workouts, those 3 a.m. workouts. Sunday Detch, arguably most improved player. Sunday Detch come out the blue. We seen this from Sunday before? Nobody even knew who the fuck Sunday was. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Brooks goes down. This kid get an opportunity of a lifetime. But you know what? Preparation is power. He was preparing himself. He was in the gym with Melo. How you ain't got no choice but to get better? You want to get better, you put the work in. The work ain't getting put in during practice. It's the unseen hours. That's how you get better.
So you think he'll be better than his brother, Lonzo?
Fuck yeah.
I think
6'7" point guard?
Oh no, LeVar did say that actually.
6'7" point? With the passing ability he has, all he got to start doing is, which he will, he's going to be in the gym with the best possible people to work with in the world. They're at your beck and call. Your job is just put the ball in the hole. Any time of day you want to get in the gym, 2, 3 in the morning, you want to go knock yourself out. We're here. Here we go. Let's go get it. Come on, man.
Well, while we're on that, we'll flip codes just for a little bit before we let you go and maybe get you some predictions, because I know you're an avid NBA follower. Who do you think's going to take out the championship this year?
Well, as much as I want LeBron to win it, I think the Clippers will do it. If they're healthy, the Clippers got it, because, LeBron can't beat Kawhi,
He doesn't even guard him.
He don't guard him, and Kawhi said it. Kawhi was like, he know what it is, tell your man to come guard me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But it is what it is. I mean, they have two players, I'm going to say. Two and a possible. LeBron, AD, and whoever else wants to show up under there.
Yeah.
Kuzma or the other Alex or whatever the other guy name is.
James Dudley.
Right? That's them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say they got, between LeBron, because LeBron ain't a closer.
Yeah.
Between LeBron and AD, it's not two dogs. They have a dog and a half.
Yeah.
All right? Now you look at the Clippers. Paul George, Kawhi, Lou Will, Montrezl,
Pat Bev.
That's five, bro.
Yeah.
That's five savages.
Yeah.
1.5 can't beat 5.
Yeah.
On any night.
And do you think the Clippers are kind of coasting the way through their regular season to when it comes to playoffs, they'll be ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
That load management.
Yeah.
Fucking load, man.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It works.
Guys just trying to get it. Yeah. So, when you know that this is your best possible chance, you got to do whatever it takes to ensure you maximize it. And I always say that. The window of opportunity closes faster than it opens.
Yeah.
It'll take you your whole life to get you to this point. Your whole life it took you to get to this point. That window's going to close way, way quicker.
Yeah.
Than it took for you to get there. You know what I mean? So when you're there, you got to maximize every day. You got to maximize that opportunity. So once the window closes, two things you're going to say. Well, I did what I had to do and more.
Yeah.
Or, fuck, man.
Regrets.
I wish I would have done this. Regrets.
Yeah. So you think it's just a battle between the LA cities? You can't see maybe like a Milwaukee or a Houston, Toronto, Boston?
Yo, look, as much as I love my Rockets, I only really love Westbrook and and I love PJ Tucker because his sneaker game is dope.
Yeah.
And he could dress.
Yeah.
And he plays really good D, but that one-on-one shit in the NBA don't cut it.
Yeah.
It'd be good on the day for numbers.
Yeah.
But you're not winning anything like that.
No, I couldn't agree more. Well, we can't thank you enough for coming on the show. You've been
Thanks for having me, man.
No worries, man. As I said, every time we bring up Australia to an American guest, they always bring you up and say you're a legend. So fantastic to have you on the show. I know me and Alex personally love you as an NBL commentator. We loved you as a player. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the love, guys. Anytime.
Legend.